everyone, and welcome to Marketplace, brought to you by Imagination TV. We're excited that you're joining us for our first ever Marketplace on the 2nd of December 2020. Together, we can use this platform to build a bridge between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Year 11 and 12 students and employment and or further opportunities. For those who don't know me, my name is Rianne Miller. I'm a proud Wirangu Narungga and Wongatha woman, and I came to Aime as a shy and reserved 17-year-old in 2014. And for the last 6 years, have been fortunate enough to work in many roles within the organisation, from overseeing our programs originally out of South Australia and WA, and over the last couple of years have moved into puppeteering and been able to work alongside our brothers and sisters in Africa and America to be able to take the program to new places. Since COVID, I've been fortunate enough to step into a new role as associate designer alongside our founder and head of design, where I'm lucky enough to be able to create the content for Imagination University and for these kinds of things where we get to give the opportunities to not only our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander youth, but marginalised youth all around the world. Today on the show, I'm joined by the wonderful Robbie Miller, who will be hosting alongside of me. Robbie, do you want to take yourself off mute and intro to those watching?
Thanks, Sheree. Yes, I'm Robbie Miller, proud Murray, presenting today from Turrbal Country up in Brizzy. My AIM journey is extensive and it is long. Started as a mentor in 2010, spent the last decade working with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander kids across Queensland and northern New South Wales. And today I get to present part of Marketplace and provide boundless opportunities to Year 12s, 11s and graduates of the AIM program. So absolute pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Robbie. So today we have a jam-packed 3 hours of Marketplace, and we've got 16 different businesses, organisations, universities and employers that are joining the show today alongside some AIM students and graduates all around Australia, and they'll pop in at different times throughout the show. And they're going to talk to us today about some scholarships, traineeships, cadetships, university opportunities, summer programs, and of course, employment opportunities. So we'll open the space today for the students to jump on at various times to engage with these guests, and then we'll be connecting them post-show so that they can come together to really explore those opportunities that they speak about today. Up first, we have 3 incredible guests that are going to be sharing, I suppose, who they are, what brought them into the industry that they're in, and then the opportunities that they have to offer for the students, both on the show and after the show. So we have Matthew Smith from the EM Institute. How are you today, Matthew?
Very well, thanks. Very excited to be here and be part of it.
Thank you for joining us. We have Anne Ree from Bloomberg. How are you, Anne? How are you feeling?
Very good. Thank you so much for having me today.
And Bruce and Cassie from the Aurora Centre. How do I say that again? Sorry.
The Urala Centre.
Aurora Centre.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about being on the show today?
Yeah, pretty excited. Something new for us as well, so we're excited to have a go.
And we have the wonderful Lily Wright, who has just jumped on the call. How are you, Lily? Are you brave enough to take yourself, to put your camera on and take yourself off mute and say hello? Not yet. We might get there soon. Let's do a quick whip around, and for everyone I've just introduced, you want to take yourself off mute and tell us a little bit about the industry you're in and how you've landed on Imagination TV today.
I can take it away if you like. So my name's Matthew and we're from the EM Institute. We're involved, we're a training organisation that specialises in the event management sector. The event management sector is vast, really. If you think about your own lives, you know, events can be a sporting event, it could be a wedding event, it could be a corporate event, and of course this year, online events. So An event manager is somebody who enjoys, creating concepts for events, and delivering them for clients, and that's their role. So as an organisation, we provide accredited training for people who want to explore a career in the event sector.
Amazing. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, Henri, I see you've just jumped in. Go for it.
So I'm from a company called Bloomberg, and we are a financial information provider. Some of you guys might be familiar with Bloomberg as a news organization, but our main product is actually called Bloomberg Terminal, which is basically to provide a solution to clients to navigate through the financial markets and deliver the market-leading solutions and the services to the clients all over the world. And sort of, I as a campus program manager in APAC, we are very much investing in building a early career, as well as sort of helping the students to build up the soft skills to be really successful and prepare themselves for the career that they're going to go into. So I'm very happy to be here today and to share an exciting opportunity that I can share with the students.
Thank you for that, Henri. Bruce or Cassie, do one of you guys want to take yourselves off mute and tell us about the program?
Yep. So we're the Aboriginal Student Support Centre, which is based at the University of New England in Armidale. And yeah, we offer support to all of our students, those who are continuing on with us, as well as those who are interested in coming. So we'll support you in applying and getting into university, and yeah, along the journey. So, and we do tutoring and scholarships, and we've also got an academic team here who offer Aboriginal studies based subjects, and they teach those to the whole university. So through the education department, through the nursing, all different schools across the university. So.
Thanks for that. Let's do another quick whip around, maybe in that same order, of what you guys want to get out of today and why you think it's important for students to be engaging in these kinds of conversations. Matt, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, sure. Well, I think first and foremost, education has always been important for people's careers and futures. I think it's also interesting, though, that education has changed a lot in that it's generally that when I was a long time ago in your situation, your age, it was pick one career, one course, do that, and that was you for the rest of your life. And I think it's one of the key messages that we talk to our students, certainly, is that you can expect to have multiple careers. And hearing even Bruce talk about Aboriginal studies, blending Aboriginal studies with a degree in business and mixing and matching seems to be quite common these days, and also very exciting for you to sort of really create and customize your own career. So today I'm here to talk about, of course, event management, and we do have a scholarship to talk about later on for that career. But in general, questions about education, I have been in education for a long time and see it evolving. So I'm happy to field any sort of questions about education and pathways and how it has evolved, and really exploring that.
Sure, and if I can also go ahead, very similar to what Matt mentions about the importance of education is also one thing about when you are thinking about what you want to achieve in the future. When you are in an early stage of education, you really don't know, sometimes you don't know what you want to do, or, you might think about maybe, I want to go into hospitality industry or the finance industry, but what does it actually really look like when you actually go into those careers? So one of the programs that I'm going to be talking about later on is really about coming into Bloomberg for about 4 days, and really kind of learn what does it really mean to work in Bloomberg in the financial industry. What kind of skill sets are they looking for when they do the interviews and etc. So all these informations really will be able to help you to sort of picture and envision your future, but also be able to prepare prepare yourself. And then those kind of preparation is something that, you know, when I was a student, I didn't have the opportunity, and then I wish that I did. So, Matt really mentioned about the education early on, but this is the importance that we Bloomberg really put an emphasis on. And then education is something that never stops, even no matter how old you are, no matter how many years of the career that you are in. And then it's really important to kind of immerse yourself in that phase. So, I'm very excited to share about that. But yeah.
Yeah, we're just excited to share what we can provide for young people. So what we've got is we have lots of pathways into our university, and we target our young people in Year 12 through our early entry program. But we also have this bridging course known as Tracks, which builds up the skills to come to university. Not only is that a chance for you to build up those skills, it's a chance for you to, if you're unsure of what you want to do, you can come and have a try at university, pick up a unit from something that you might want to do, and get an experience in that. And if you do continue on with that one, there's a unit ticked off. Otherwise, if you didn't like it, you can try and pick something else, and we'll support you along that way. We understand that university is not for everybody, and we understand that a lot of these young fellas these days still aren't sure on what they want to do. If they're anything like me, you walked out of that school with HSC and you still didn't know what you wanted to do. I'm a few years on now, and sometimes I still wonder what I want to do. But it's a good way just to open your eyes to another opportunity for you, and go from there. And I suppose if we give you the information and let you make your decisions for yourself.
Thanks, Bruce. And it's interesting what you said there about you still don't know what you want to do. I mean, kind of touches to Matt's point, where sometimes as a student or a high school kid, you're told to pick one career and stick at it. But it just shows no matter where you go through life, you're always going to be looking for those different careers and options, and your passions are going to change. So quite well said. Now, we're on this show to talk about opportunities, and that's why we're all here. So I'd love to hear from you, Matt, what it is the EM Institute can bring to the students that we work with.
Yeah, sure, great. So event management is an exciting career path. It sort of overlaps with other sectors. Tourism, it often goes hand in hand with tourism, business, and you can be working in an organization in IT, but you're in charge of all the national events and coordinate sales events and things like that for the organization. So it's a broad scope sector. A career in events, you can get going. If you're fortunate, you can find a job. Often people who want to dabble and see if it's for them, we recommend they go to a website called volunteering.com.au. And, there's lots of events looking for people to help out, from a sporting event to a charity event. And then when you sort of think that this might be your career, there's generally two levels of qualifications. One is a vocational level, so a TAFE or a private college like the EM Institute, where you would get a diploma of event management. And that's generally the first rung that we generally recommend. And then beyond that, you might be able to progress onto a university degree. Happens that we have a diploma of event management that also actually gives you first year credit to our higher ed partner as well. So you sort of can start with a diploma and jump straight into second year if you want to keep progressing. So the opportunity we really love AIM and what you guys do. Our program is our diploma program that can be done Australia-wide. It's an online program coupled with a work placement. And you find event management is studied that way, where you work in a charity and a non-profit or an organisation to complete your studies in a practical component. So our diploma, which is normally cost a student $6,000, we're offering a scholarship to AIM students interested in this career, valued at a 75% saving on that. So $1,500 for the program, and we can also help with a payment plan for that. So anyone interested in this sort of career path certainly can open a dialogue with us and chat more, and knowing that we would love to support them financially with the cost of the course.
Thanks, Matt. Actually, I didn't realise event management was such an exciting career. I was lucky enough to talk to you earlier in the year, and yeah, I think there's plenty of opportunities, particularly in the world that we live in now when so much is digital. Event management, it'd be interesting to see where that career grows. So thank you. Now, let's talk Bloomberg. Henri, you said that's a summer program. Tell us, what is this summer program?
Sure. So the program that I wanted to introduce to you guys today is called Bloomberg Academy. So this is a early engagement program that I run not only in Sydney, but also across Asia. But this is really about for students to really, students on early education to come into Bloomberg between 4 days to almost a week and spend basically all day with us, and to really learn not just about the business that a Bloomberg does in terms of the Bloomberg terminal, and then also the financial knowledge that they can also kind of get into, but also different type of soft skills training that we actually provide to the students as well. So a lot of the time when you actually go for any sort of job interview, the importance of communication skills is always there. So, you know, we really teach them about, you know, the communication, how you can actually build those soft skills that, you know, the importance of soft skills. So we really teach them around those skill training. But also what we do is that we prep them for any sort of job interviews that they may actually encounter in the future. Sometimes, you know, when you're preparing for your CV in an interview, then you get sometimes quite lost, like, what do I need to do? And then how should we actually tackling certain, like, you know, interview questions? So all of these, we actually give them a training around the Bloomberg Academy. And then also, I don't know how many of you guys really know about Bloomberg Philanthropies, but Bloomberg's majority of the profits actually go to Bloomberg Philanthropies to kind of sort of give it back to the society and then work and collaborate with the society that we actually work in. So usually with the Bloomberg Academy, learning about the Bloomberg culture and etc. But also we actually do a volunteering work together with the students coming into Bloomberg Academy. So for Sydney Bloomberg Academy, you usually go to Royal Botanic Gardens and do like a bit of planting trees and then the plants and etc. It's kind of really kind of get to know with each other, but also really understanding the importance of giving back to society. So this Bloomberg Academy really is an all-around program where students will be able to be excited about the futures and also kind of prepare themselves for the future. So yeah, I shared application and everything with the organization name to you guys. So if you're interested, please do apply.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's so important that students nowadays are taught those communication skills so that together we can all, you know, progress and most importantly, learn and develop. Bruce or Cassie, I'm going to hand it over to you guys to tell us about the program out of the University of New England and the opportunities you have for the students there.
Oh, we have loads of opportunities for students. So apart from our university entry courses that we do and supporting our students, we also run school engagement activities. So, yeah, well, throughout the year, we have students come in and do experience days. So they can come and try, do a day up in nursing and get a hands-on experience of that, and talk to some of our current students as well as some of the lecturers about what's happening in there and how they go about, you know, what a normal day of doing university study would be in nursing. We go to the law and business school. We've got agriculture classes up here. Yeah, we try and get around to nearly all of them. And not so much this year, but yeah, over the past few years, we've held leadership camps as well. So where students from around our area can come and stay on campus in the college system and get to experience what it's like. They can come and do leadership activities and build, you know, their leadership strengths within themselves. You know, it's for some of our aspiring leaders to get better, but it's also for those who might need a little bit of help and gain a bit of confidence. And so we work on some of those things with them. We've been lucky as well. We've had Aime at our university, and I've just moved over from the local high school, and we've had Aime in our high school as well. So I got to see firsthand and work closely with our Aime team to get our students getting really, really comfortable with university life, showing them that they can do it if they want to do it. And just opening their eyes to it, because we do know that a lot of our parents may not have come to university, may not have finished school. So we've got this is a way to show them that they can do it and that there's plenty of support here to help. And if you've got the dream, we can help you get there. So
thanks, Bruce. Now, I believe you have a presentation for us?
Yes. So we've got a presentation. This is one that we showed to future students. So we've presented to high school groups. We've also presented to a few other organisations as well. So what we'll do is I'll get Cassie to share that one when it's time to go on, and I'll talk you through it.
You can go ahead and share your screen, Cass.
Okay. I'll just let her know to put it on the slideshow. To the right. Yep. We're working? Can you guys see that or no?
No.
Technical difficulties.
That's are we going?
There we go. Do you want to change the start of view? Maybe exit that one, escape that one, and then play it again. And hit the one right next to the minus sign on the Zoom, that one. Our other admin staff, she works with it really well. She knows this one inside and out. So Cassie's just filling in. Anyways, I'll talk while we're getting that sorted. So I'll introduce myself to everybody out there. So my name is Bruce Dennison, and I'm an Inuit man from Armidale. And I work with the student experience team at the Arala Centre. And before we start, we always like to do an acknowledgement of the country. So I'd like to acknowledge the Inuit people of the country that we're on today here in Armidale. I'd also like to acknowledge that the Gimbenga, the Dungari, and the Gamilaroi people have also shared in caring for our country here. I'd like to acknowledge all the different nations where you guys are at. So I understand you are all around Australia, and possibly this is going around the world as well. So all those Indigenous nations. That's our little courtyard at the back here. So this is our team. So we've got a team here in the student experience team, or student engagement team. So we've got Natasha as our senior student engagement officer. Tina, who looks after our tutoring program. Cassandra is another student engagement officer. There's myself there, student engagement officer. Tony is another student engagement officer. Janelle's our admin assistant. Samantha's our team leader, and Noni is another project officer. Noni is also one of our students, our past students. So she's done a few courses so far, and she actually came through the Tracks program, which I'll tell you a bit more about in a minute. And yeah, she's now employed with us as well, doing some project work. Yep, next. So how do you get into uni? There's a few different ways. The early entry is one for Year 12 students. So talk to your careers advisors about, and you can put in an early entry application. And you usually get those early entry letters to say whether you're successful or not. You usually get those probably just before you start the HSC. So that goes on recommendation from your principals and careers advisors. What you can do with those, you can select up to 3 different courses. So if you don't get the first one that you don't like, you can go for another one. Like, you got 3 different options. They're really good because students we have talked to after they've got the early entry, they feel so relieved that all the weight of the HSC is not, the exams are not on their shoulders as they go into them, and they can then relax and enjoy their exams a bit more, knowing that they've got a spot early entry. Direct entry is our traditional way of entering. So that's after you get your scores back through HSC. And yeah, that's the traditional way. And then we've got our alternate entry, which is for those who haven't got in those other ways and would like to come in, and we give them a taste, and we teach a bit about academic writing and all of that, and give them a taste of university life. Next, please. I'll hurry through because I know we're a bit time short. So our Tracks program, which is our alternate entry one that we run here at Orala Centre, is designed for Aboriginal people by Aboriginal people. And it's run through our centre, so you've got all of us here to guide you and help you through that. You have direct contact with your lecturers, and the beauty of that is that you can get them at any time as well, not just during lectures. It's very flexible, it's free, and if anything, it's a bit of a confidence booster. So you can get in and get to, if you're a bit nervous about coming, you can get a taste of it, feel it, get that guidance along the way without being too stressed that it's a really, that you're in your full course, and that if you fail, it's not the end of the world. We're with you to support you along the way and build you up. Next one. So we've got lots of scholarships available here at the university. So we offer a few ourselves through the Orala Centre. There's our Kickstart Scholarship, and that's open to any students who do participate in any of our camps and then decide to come on to university. And then there's lots of other different ones. There's ones for education costs, there's some for accommodation. I'll talk about accommodation in a second. And there's a lot of other ones, especially through the mainstream of the university as well, which we can share, and we'll support you and put you in contact with those. Next. So one of our successes is our tutoring program that we offer here at Orala Centre. So what we do is we connect you with a specialist tutor who's in the unit that you're studying at that time. So and it's up to 2 hours per week per subject. So it's really, really good you can get in and do some study planning and learn how to time management yourself, or you can get someone to proofread and help you with that, or you can just use it as exam prep. Students tailor that to themselves along with their tutors to whatever suits them. Next. Some of our accommodation options here in Armidale. On campus, we have a few different colleges. So there's, as you can see, there's a long list of them there. All of those colleges have their own separate different cultures. There's the sporty colleges, there's the academic colleges, there's the International Students College. There's a whole range of them. You can come and have a look. They've got their own web pages as well, so you can have a look at those and find out which one's best for you. The beauty of that is that if you go to one for 1 year, you can always change next year and go to another one. It's a good place to be. I actually know a lot of the young fellas there. I play footy with them, and they seem to have a good experience of college life as well as university life. So that's as much as I'll give you on that one. Young fellas need to focus. And we usually do a fly through here, but it's a bit distorted when it comes through to Zoom. So what we'll do is we'll send the link on, and it's on YouTube, and we'll send that on, and it shows a lot better when you open it up in your own screen. It's a bit of a ride, and you get a little bit dizzy. So but that's a quick look at our support here that we provide. If you do have any more questions, we've got a free call number there, 1-800-622-384, or you can send us an email or visit our webpage as well, which is on the University of New England homepage. So, yeah.
Thanks, Bruce. Just to wrap up there, we're out of time, but I just want to thank Matt from the EM Institute, incredible scholarships and event management. Henri with your Bloomberg Academy. I had a quick Google of it just before. It looks fantastic. And the Arala Centre, Bruce, what you offer students there at UNE is actually quite incredible and quite comprehensive. And for those who are watching or are going to watch later, all the information from both Matt, from Henri, from the Arala Centre, we're going to be able to provide that information for you. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And I know there's going to be plenty of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students that are going to appreciate your time as well. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, Ree, how are you feeling after that?
Feeling good, Robbie. It's great to know that, the students that we work with have some pathways to go into. We are running a little bit behind time, so we're going to go to a quick 1-minute break so that we can prep the next lot of guests that are jumping on to share some more opportunities. So we'll be back in 1 minute, start the timer, and we'll have some more guests to talk about the opportunities that they have for AIM students. See you then. and we are back for this second segment of today. We've got 3 guests on the show today. We have Tim from Southern Cross University. How are you today, Tim?
Very good, thank you. And yeah, big thanks for having me on today.
No problems at all. Thank you for coming on the show. We also have Lara and Luke from Industrial Light and Magic. How are you guys?
Doing well. Thanks for having us on.
Really well. Excited to be here.
You guys have got me a little bit excited by the work that you do, ILM for short. I'm super keen to hear more about what exactly Industrial Light and Magic is. Over to you guys to tell us a bit about it.
Thank you. It's a fun place to be. We're the visual effects company that was initially set up by George Lucas in the 1970s to produce the visual effects for the first Star Wars films. At the time, there was no such thing as visual effects. He was obviously wanted to make a movie that was trying to do things that had never been done before, and ILM was the company that he founded in California to make that possible. And here we are, 45 years later, a global company with studios in Singapore, London, Vancouver, as well as the original one in San Francisco. And last year we opened up a studio here in Sydney, which as someone who has grown up in Australia, very excited about. It's an amazing opportunity for us to build a new creative studio here and create opportunities and jobs for people at a really interesting time.
Amazing, incredible to have you on the show. Tim, tell us about the opportunities you've got at SCU for some students.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so Southern Cross University is a proud young university. We're 26 years old now, and we've got 3 campuses from Coffs Harbour all the way through to the Gold Coast. And in the middle, we've got Lismore as well. So northern New South Wales and southern end of Queensland is kind of where we're located. We've got some fantastic opportunities that we present to around 30,000 students now, both on campus and online as well. Some great opportunities, and we've just announced that we're going to be supplying over $4 million worth of scholarships next year. And we're going to have a whole bunch of those that are just going to be targeted towards our Indigenous students as well. So some really fabulous opportunities for anyone looking to study at Southern Cross University next year in the years to come.
Incredible, Tim. I'll jump in there because ILM, you've got me interested in both Lara and Luke. As in, how did you guys get involved in the organisation? Because hearing that George Lucas founded it a very long time ago to where it is now, what both made you decide to head in the direction you are to work at ILM?
For me personally, I got a fascination with this stuff when I was a kid. And I bumped into things on TV showing what these people were doing back in movies like the original Star Wars movies, films like The Abyss, where they made the water creature that kind of came alive. And it was that, how are they doing that feeling? The what am I looking at? Where's this coming from? I just grew up with a fascination. I think I always knew I wanted to be somehow in this. It was not an easy thing to work out how to get into, particularly back 25 years ago. And I'm just super excited to be part of this company now and to be able to bring it back into Australia. The second and third episodes of the Star Wars series were actually filmed in Sydney back in the early 2000s. So it's a really nice sort of full circle story for ILM and Star Wars to be back in Australia.
Yeah, similar to Luke, I grew up with a geeky brother, and we were both completely obsessed with Star Wars. I grew up in a really tiny country town in rural South Australia, so with 900 people. So it was obviously a big dream to be able to work on this kind of work in the future. And gradually went to university, studied communication studies, ended up working in animation, and really it's a dream come true to have a company like ILM in Australia providing amazing opportunities for young Australians to have a career in visual effects.
Incredible. Now, Tim, SCU, I've been lucky enough to work at the Blinga campus before for about 4 or 5 years. If you've never been to Coolangatta on the Gold Coast, it's the campus with probably the best view of the ocean you've ever seen in Australia. Sorry to every other university that's on the call today. But the one thing I want to know on your perspective in terms of recruitment, so paint a picture for you. I'm a year 12 student. I'm looking for university. What is the best way to, I guess, apply or get information about what you actually do at Southern Cross University?
Yeah, so, there's a lot of different opportunities out there for year 12 students. And my tip to anyone looking to go to university, especially year 12 students, is to definitely do your homework, do some research, and kind of weigh up the pros and cons about it. And, one of the pros is definitely our 7th level up at Bulinga campus overlooking the ocean. It's a great spot to do your studies. But we've got many different ways of gaining entry into Southern Cross University. So whether or not you're looking to just gain entry based on your ATAR score, that's fine. You can apply through a tertiary admission centre, choose any one of our courses. Alternatively, we also have early admissions programs as well. Ours is called the Star Early Offer Program. And basically what it does is it allows you to apply for a course at Southern Cross University, and it is based on your high school's recommendation. So we really take your passions and your skills into account, and we ask your high school to make a judgment whether or not they think you'd be successful at university. There are some parameters around it, but we really feel that your school knows you better than anyone else. They've just stuck with you for 12 years maybe, and they will really understand your skills and attributes. We've also got many different admission schemes as well. And surrounding our Indigenous students, we do a testing and assessment program as well. And that's really to help you guys, succeed at university and to see if there's an alternative way of gaining entry for you. At SCU, we're really, really flexible, and we like to work with you to try and help you succeed, to try and help you get into tertiary study. So, when it comes to us, we're really, really there to provide that individualized service and the personalized entry program to Southern Cross Uni.
That's amazing. And I know, as a year 12 student, I would have loved to be able to have that kind of opportunity and entry pathway. So thank you so much for offering that for the students. Now, I'd love to hear from each of you, what is the funniest thing that has happened in your current workplace? So at Industrial Light Music, what's the funniest thing that you guys have experienced on a day-to-day, or something that you look back on and it's just a highlight of the work that you do?
One for me is working at ILM, obviously famous for Star Wars, also Mandalorian and Star Trek and so many movies that the company's worked at. I took a meeting with a client to talk about a project that they were, looking for help with some visual effects. We took them into the boardroom and we, sat down. And one of the first questions I was asked was, have you done anything to do with space? And I thought they were joking, but they were not. They were actually asking if we had done anything to do with space. So I tried to professionally answer that, yeah, we did a few Star Wars movies and a few things, and we showed them the reel. And it was actually a really sensible question because he was looking for a very particular sort of documentary style approach to it all, but it just seemed like a funny question at the time.
That's incredible, and what a great question to ask people that work in Star Wars and work with Star Wars. Tim, tell us something funny that's happened at SCU, the highlight of one of your work days.
Yeah, so there's been a few different highlights, and walking through our plaza every single day and seeing students interact and mingle, there's a lot of funny moments that go on, a lot of shenanigans that happen on campus as well. But I think one of the funniest things that I experienced was probably back when I was a student, actually, and each and every year our student body there, our Uni Life team, they put on some student awards, and everyone kind of dresses up, and with that there are a few different plays and acts that happen on that particular night as well. So a few comedians in amongst our students who put on a bit of a stand-up comedy performance. We've also had some great live acts that come through. to our uni bar, and there's a lot of extracurricular activity that happens aside from just the study side of things. And I definitely have seen a nudie run or two at my time at Southern Cross University, not by myself, but by our students. We do encourage that they do keep their clothes on, of course.
That's not at all what I was expecting when I asked that question. So thank you very much. Luckily, most of the kids that we will be sharing this video and this recording with will be of age. So there's no problems there. Lara, how about you?
Look, ILM is a really fun place to work. It's a really got a very young culture, and there's a lot of people who have great sense of humor. And I think to work in animation in particular, you've got to be quite funny. One of the loveliest things about opening a studio is the early days when there's about 100 of us now, and we're going to get pretty bigger than that. But when in the early days, our first Halloween last year, people were very enthusiastic about dressing up, and we had a theme of Stranger Things, the TV series, which I'm sure probably a lot of you have seen before. And one of our compositors dressed up as 11, and that actually I think has been something that stayed with me, because he totally nailed the dressing up of 11, the character from Stranger Things. But yeah, it's a fun environment at ILM. Everybody's very passionate about their movies and their characters and takes everything very seriously.
It's one of my favourite shows. So if there's any photos, make sure you share them after this call with us at AIM. Now for ILM, I want to know what the opportunity that you have for an AIM student. What is the opportunity? Talk us through it.
Let me quickly start, then I'm going to hand over to Lara, who, by the way, I've known for over 20 years. She's amazing. She taught me a lot of what I knew and showed me in the early part of my career what a good producer and a good support team can do when you're working in a creative space and you're trying to figure out what to do. I guess the main message from me, first of all, is to let everybody know that we are here, that we've landed. We're in Australia, and we're excited over the next few years to build a studio of what we think will be 300, 400, 500 people over the next couple of years. I want people to know that it's here. The other thing is, to make a movie takes a village. It's amazing. I mean, if you sit through the credits of a big feature film, or indeed a streaming series like The Mandalorian that we just have been making, the breadth of skills and types of people that we need is pretty astonishing, actually. Hundreds and hundreds of people, and people may not realize that there's a place for them in these sorts of productions. Of course, we have artists and we have creatives, we have technologists and engineers and programmers, we have the organizers and production teams, HR teams, finance teams, legal teams. It covers so much. So I want to make sure that that message is heard, that don't assume that there's not a place for you and what your particular passion and ability is in what we do. We have lawyers working for us and programmers working for us, because they're excited to do what they do within a company that is all about creating the impossible, about telling stories, about inspiring each other every day. But yeah, Lara will give a much better version of the specifics of some of the opportunities and programs that we've got coming up.
And we're really keen just to plant the idea in people's heads that visual effects is an amazing place to be, no matter what your background is. We all play a part in making these films and creating these stories. Specifically, we have some entry-level roles that we're advertising at the moment. So if there's anyone out there who is either graduating and looking for their first role, or just starting to form an idea of what they might study and keep looking at us for, because we're going to be growing for a long time and we'll always have entry-level roles to be able to come in and sort of start your career in visual effects. So the ones that are advertised at the moment on our website, and we'll make sure that we give all that information to you to pass on to all of your viewers. There's a production assistant role. That's an awesome entry-level role to come in and be part of the team that organizes the shows. There's a facilities coordinator role, which is part of our operations team that just helps keeping the studio up and running. And it's an amazing role for anybody who's interested to kind of get to know all the wide variety of roles that we have, because there's a broad range of people that you'll be dealing with. And then finally, probably the thing that Luke and I are really incredibly excited about is our Jedi Academy, which starts in Feb next year, 2021. So that role is up on the website. We're doing 2 traineeships. One's in an area called layout and one's in an area called paint and roto. Basically, we're inviting people to come in and work with us for a year. We'll have an initial sort of 8 to 10 weeks of really focused training on particular areas in the pipeline, and then people will be able to gradually move into working on shows. So if anyone out there is interested in visual effects as a career and has already sort of started to think about the kind of areas that they might like to specialize in, the Jedi Academy is a really good one to have a look at. And it's got a cool name, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I was sold at Jedi Academy. I must admit, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. I've only watched maybe 1 or 2 of the movies. I know, Robbie, I can see you judging me. But I'm definitely interested in having a look into that academy so that we can have some more like Jedi Masters out there in the world.
We need more Jedi Masters for sure.
Thank you all so much for taking the time to jump on today. As Luke just said, you know, we all play a part in creating and sharing stories, and that's from the creative industry and of course from education and further education, further opportunities in the education setting. So thank you, Tim, for sharing the scholarships and the entry pathways that are available for AIME students. And thank you, Lara and Luke, for jumping on to share some incredible opportunities in the creative industry for kids to get involved in. Robbie, I reckon we head to a 5-minute break to get ready for the next lot of guests that we have joining us. And I can confirm that we do have students jumping on in the next part. So let's come back to Imagination TV after we grab a drink of water, and we'll see everyone then.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Hello, I'm Robbie Miller. Welcome back to Marketplace. If you've been tuning in all morning, we've had some fantastic conversations and opportunities so far. And for this next slot, we have got Katrina Beer from Fed Uni, Matika, who we just found out is on their very, very, very first day from Crown, and also Eliza from Crown. So to kick us off, I want to chuck it over to Katrina. Tell us a little about yourself, and then what brought you to work at Fed Uni?
Just unmuting, sorry about that. What brought me to working at Federation? I actually have been affiliated with Federation for over 20 years, and I started as a trainee myself when I was 16. And partly I had low self-esteem and confidence. I really wanted to do well through my VCE. I would have been the first in my family. And a job opportunity came up at the university, and I went, if I can't go to university, at the very least, I will work at one. And honestly, I've never looked back. Everyone is very welcoming at the university and really allowed me to grow into the person that I am now. Really embracing of my culture, and was able to freely express that, and that's something that I'm really proud about, Federation, and it's led me to where I am today. So I now work as the manager for the Aboriginal Education Centre at Federation. I've actually previously ran my own business, and I wouldn't have had those opportunities if it wasn't for the traineeship opportunity that I had originally. So in terms of my certificates and qualifications, my traineeship one is the one that I'm most proud of. Regardless if I go on to do my PhD or not, it's still the one that I value the most. So what do we have at the university? Federation is a regional university. We've got amazing, landscapes. It's the people. We're not as large as some of the other, bigger universities. We are quite small, but we're spread out. So we have multitude of campuses across the state of Victoria, and we do now have a campus in Brisbane as well. And I think it's the home away from home feel that you get at Federation, and very personalised, and you walk onto campus and you feel like you're part of the family. In saying that, we've also got a magnitude of positions available, including traineeship. So we have a commitment to at least 4 traineeship opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples every year, and we do have a position available at the moment. And we don't just offer traineeships, we offer careers, and we want to see people succeed and do well and grow at the university. And that's one of the things that again, I'm really proud to be part of. I've seen many trainees come through and complete, and now moving up where they want to be. So I think that's one of the things about Federation is you're not just going to do a traineeship, you're going to build a career with us. and yeah, as I said, it's a home away from home. We've got campuses in Gippsland, Berwick, Ballarat, and in the Wimmera. We've got a range of courses on offer. And the team in the Aboriginal Education Centre is able to, help people, through entry requirements. That's one of the things that, we actually really work hard. We've got a really big reputation at Federation for supporting those who may not have been able to get entry before. We've got a lot of people who are first in families, and yeah, it's that experience and that support that will help you on your journey through your studies. The other thing too is that we're not just a university, we're a multi-sector university, which means that we also offer programs through VCAL, through to TAFE, and then pathways through to higher ed right up to PhD. So, you've got a really good support network that you're able to, assess maybe where you are and where you want to go, and be supported right through. So,
yeah, I particularly love that there's that support from the very beginning through to the end. And I love that you spoke about the importance of being able to grow and upskill in order to succeed. And that's incredibly important for the kids to be able to, the students, the young adults, to know that that support network is there.
Yeah. And as I said, Federation is so embracing of culture, and it's really embedded right through the whole organisation, which is just amazing. We've got a new Vice Chancellor, and I tell you what, I'm being really impressed. He's met with all community right across the state of Victoria to listen, to learn what's most important, and he's ready to make a real difference where we need it, and is pushing it from the top down. But we've also got amazing people on the ground going, our Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander communities are number one, and that's what I'm seeing. So yeah, I'm really excited about next year and what's to come in the future.
Speaking of having great people on the ground, Matika, how are we feeling today, and what brought you to Crown?
Hi, thanks so much for having me, everyone, today. Yes, today is my first day at Crown. So first and foremost, I'll introduce myself. My name's Matika Little. I'm a proud Wiradjuri and Kamilaroi woman, originally from Wagga Wagga in regional New South Wales. But now I live on Gadigal country here in Sydney, and I've just started working here with Crown. The reason that I wanted to come and work for Crown is because I really see them as an absolute leader in the industry. Crown does so much fantastic work, and they work to be the best they can at everything that they do. That's the standard that I hold myself to, and that's the standard that I hold our mob to. I was told when I was growing up that to be Indigenous is to be successful, and so part of my role and Eliza's role here at Crown is to help you and to support you in achieving your definition of success here with Crown.
That's quite a remarkable first day on the job pitch, I must say. And fully backing that, to be Indigenous means to be successful. Eliza, do you want to introduce yourself and how you came to Crown?
Definitely. So basically, I made my way to Crown through career-wise. Just before this, I was focused on Aboriginal employment at Yarnan. Some of you might have heard of Yarnan. But before that, I started off my first job through Voyages, doing the Ayers Rock traineeship. So I guess what attracted me to Crown was the idea of, I know how important these kinds of traineeships and these first step opportunities are to changing someone's life, especially in Sydney. It's not always easy to get that first step into employment. So I guess being able to work for a brand that creates strong opportunities but still does so much and connects so well with community is just a great thing. And I guess, would you like to know a bit about our opportunities? I'm not too sure.
Yeah? Go for it.
Awesome. So I guess right now we're running on all these different traineeship opportunities, obviously. So we've got car dealers, apprentices, food and bev trainees. But the good thing is being able to move around internally as well. So I guess feel free to like always contact us too. So the IAP team, if you feel like you just don't know what you want to do, we do have an evergreen program. So if you just chuck your application in, Matika or I will give you a call and we can run through what your dreams are, what you want to do, and maybe we can connect a pathway through Crown to help you get there. And if not, we can work externally as well. We both come from a strong community network background where even if we can't help you from a Crown perspective, we'll find a way to help you. Like, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
My
I
third week.
was just going to say, I might add to that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can hear myself like reflecting. That's annoying, but that's okay. Crown has a really big focus on developing Indigenous talent. We have a really big focus on if this isn't the right role for you, where else can you thrive? And just like Eliza said, there's so many opportunities to move around within Crown. You can go and you can start in food and beverage, and then you can move into a different aspect of the business. And we've also, of course, I'm very fresh, so I've just gone through all of the information that's really important to everyone starting at Crown, and they made a really big effort to show that we understand some people are working at Crown maybe in the hotel section because they're studying at uni and they want some pocket money or those types of things, and that's absolutely fine. How can we support you to enjoy that work while you are doing it? But other people might come to Crown because you're really passionate about having a long-term career in this industry, and that's equally something that our team is incredibly passionate about wanting to support you in doing. So things like checking in, things like, as you said, you can always reach out if you have any questions for us, those types of things as well. So two options if it's something that you're just looking for just now, and also if you want that to turn into a really wonderful career here with Crown and in this industry. Does anyone have any maybe questions at all?
Yeah, I think a question that I'd love to know, which I think can tie in with Fed Uni as well, is specifically what do you guys look for when students are putting their hands up for roles or opportunities within the field that you both work in?
Do you want me to take this, Eliza, or do you want to jump in?
I'm happy to. I guess honestly, just ambition, like ideas. You don't need to know what you want to do with your life, but if you want to grow, the whole idea about Crown is, I suppose, just wanting something. As long as you want to do something with your life, we'll help you get there. Like, we'll channel that. As long as you just, even if you have no idea, you could just say like, look, I want to be something. I want to build a career. I want to do this, but I have no idea what you want. Me and Matik will sit down and break down ideas with you until you can figure out exactly what your dreams are. We can help you figure that out and then create a pathway. So people who are just, I don't know, kind of craving something, I suppose. Matika?
Yeah, all of those things. And then additionally, I think the important thing that we see here at Crown is passion and enthusiasm. So if you are great with people, if you're really interested in the job that you're going for, again, like Eliza said, you could have no idea whatsoever, but we really believe that you can teach someone a skill set. You can't teach someone personality or connection or being able to work with people. So a heap of the opportunities that are open at the moment or coming up in the future are roles where actually you don't need any prior knowledge about this industry or that particular job. And that's like a massive weight lifted off a lot of people's shoulders, because you'll see a lot of jobs at the moment where it's like, oh, you need 3 years. Oh, you need this much experience. You can come to Crown with no experience whatsoever. And if you're a people fit, we will train you to be able to do that role really well. I think someone's trying to knock on my meeting room.
Amazing. I particularly love that you guys highlighted that you don't need to know what you want to do right now. That's been a very common theme across the day so far, and it's more about finding what your passion and your interest is, and whether that's short term or long term. It's just about going out and getting it. Katrina, how about you? What would you say?
I was going to say the same thing. You may not know what it is that you want to do, and that's okay. I've heard many people, many elders go and turn around and say, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, and that's perfectly okay. And I think our role is to maybe help you find that path. You don't know what you don't know. And it's all about experience. And, that's, again, one of the benefits of, working at a really big organisation that is able to have many, many offers. And depending on what might interest you, again, as I said, the university is large. We've got, many departments. We've got facilities, we've got gardeners, we've got maintenance workers, we've got right up to, you may want to even be an academic, you may want to be a TAFE teacher, you may want to work in the trades, you may want to, and you've got that flexibility to be able to go, okay, well, maybe I don't know what I want to do, but I've got the opportunity to have a bit of a taster. And I can tell that, in terms of one of the trainees, they thought that they wanted to do business and went into administration. And, after 3 months, they went, oh, I really didn't think it was going to be like this. Is there something else that I can try? And we're able to very quickly move, that trainee to another department. And now they're doing their apprenticeship in horticulture. So, it's okay not to know what you want to do, but get in there, have a go. That's when you learn what you like and what you don't like. And there's amazing people out there. Reach out, and you don't know where your path may lead you. And I think that's what's exciting. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your responses. I'm going to throw over to Michelle, Anika, and Mackenzie, who are in the audience today as eager Year 12 students and a graduate. What have you thought of today, and do you have any questions for those on the show?
So with the traineeships, I was wondering if any of you have anything like to do with what's it called, like social working or anything like that.
Social work?
Yeah, like healthcare, like with like Aboriginal communities and stuff like that. That's my only question. Do you have a question? No, I'm sorry.
Eliza, do you want to answer that one?
She's gone.
Yes, so we don't really have many social.
She's back.
You're sorry.
Oh, good. So, look, maybe more along the lines of communications with Crown. Definitely, we've got so many different departments that work well with community. If you're looking at Aboriginal health, not exactly, but we can still work externally. Like, we can definitely connect you to the right people. Matika, do you know of any Aboriginal health traineeships going on in Sydney at the moment?
Well, not off the top of my head, but what my thoughts are, I guess goes back into that, different people are coming to Crown for different reasons. And if your passion is working in Indigenous health and the social work area, maybe what Crown has to offer you is something that's similar enough to that. So you get that experience in the back of your pocket by the time you actually do go for a role like that. For example, just off the top of my head, types of roles we have here is we have a health and wellbeing team, and they focus completely on making sure that everyone at work is as healthy and happy as they can be. We have paramedics who are on site 24/7 all the time if anyone ever needs them. We have a personal trainer who works here. So lots of things related to health and wellness and those types of things. So there's always something somehow connected to what you're interested in. But specifically, if you're wanting to work in a hospital, obviously we're not a hospital, but again, there'll be opportunities to work maybe in the health and wellbeing team or work as a paramedic in the area and those types of things. So lots of different ways that we might be just a small part of that journey for you in getting to your dream role.
Thank you.
Didn't some of the courses require some prereq or a bit of experience? So that may work. That may work well.
What about you, Katrina, at Fed Uni? Is there any pathways, opportunities for that line of training or career?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As I said, in terms of the teams within a university. Obviously, we have social and emotional well-being as well. And the other thing that I was thinking too is the close relationships that we have with our community organisations, and we are actually running with a group of 30 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community members in Ballarat who are doing their Diploma of Community Services. And so people are doing that as a cohort and working in different organisations as well. There's definitely a lot of opportunities coming up, in this space. And you can certainly work through that. And yeah, if that's something that you were then wanting to look at doing, then if it was something that we as an organisation weren't doing, but we might be able to even tie you in with an organisation that is. And I always like to think that Federation is a good place to work and study. So that's one of the biggest benefits is, you're either able to study with us or work or both, which is, I think that's really exciting. And still get that support and that community support, the tutoring. We run peer program, which is a mentoring, so it might be people that are studying the same and that sort of thing, and still linking in. But building the networks within the areas that you want to go in, I'd say that's where that's where you'll be most successful. And you've got a team of people around you. You just need to reach out and asking. I think that's what the team at Crown was saying. So Matika was saying that, there's a no wrong door policy. Come and have a chat to us. And if we don't, then maybe we'll know who does. So I think that'd be the advice that I've got there.
Yeah, that's incredible advice. And thank you so much, Eliza, Matika and Kat, for joining us on this little 20-minute episode interval. And thank you to the girls at school that have jumped on to find more career opportunities for you guys. My absolute favorite takeouts from this has been that in order for us to be able to succeed, we need to do well and continue to grow. And what Matika said at the start is, have high expectations on not only ourselves but our mob. So we're going to cut to a 10-minute break this time. And then after it, we've got some really cool guests jumping on. We've got Bond University, the Australian Defence Force, University of Queensland, Commonwealth Bank, University of Canberra, Aboriginal Support Strategy, and the University of Newcastle. And we also have a very special act during this 10-minute break, which is the one and only Robbie Miller, who's going to sing us a couple songs and do a little intermission for us. Thankfully, yesterday, as we were planning out the final run sheet of this, I remembered that Robbie is in fact an artist and a musician. So luckily I threw him under the bus, and we're all fortunate enough to be able to hear him play next. So tune in, then we'll cut to a quick break, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you, crew.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Ree, for throwing me under the bus. It's my favourite place to be. So I'm Robbie Miller. I've been hosting the show all day with the fantastic Ree. I'm going to play a couple tunes, have a 5-minute break, and then we're going to kick on for the rest of the afternoon. The song's called On the Run. So I'm on the run, trying to change all my bad ways. Told you some lies, see in your eyes that is too much. Time don't seem to change, you're moving, you're a mess. I'm gone in the head, that I'm sure I must confess. 'Cause I am too drunk to remember what it takes to be your man. Watch the slow burn orange sky, hold your lips, rest on mine. chasing away all my past lies. Told you some lies, see in your eyes that it's too much. Time don't seem to change or move, and there's regrets. I'm missed in the head that I'm sure I must confess. 'Cause I am too drunk to remember what it takes to be a man. Watch the slow burn orange sky, hold your lips, rest on mine. 'Cause I am too drunk to remember what it takes to be a man. Watch the slow burn orange sky, hold your lips, rest on mine. No, no. 'Cause I'm on the run, trying to change all my past lives. Told you some lies, see in your eyes that it's too much. Don't waste your breath, lay it down at your feet. Build it up once again, oh baby, take a seat. This pushing and pulling, it is breaking my bones. This take it or leave it, it is turning me to stone. Don't waste your breath, telling me everything I do know. I got this lover that is on my mind. I feel it, living through this daily grind. I need to show my how the stuff does hurt. I'm screaming, begging baby to be burned. And I said, oh, 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 oh. And I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 oh. Don't waste your breath, breaking bones just for fun. Every chance that you get, oh baby, you're smoking gone. These hopeless realities that are ruling my head. This love with conditions as if no longer we fled. Build it up once again, please tell me everything I do know. I got this lover that is on my mind. I feel it, even through this daily grind. I need to show my how this stuff does hurt. I'm screaming, begging baby to be burned. And I said, oh, 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 oh. 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 When time stops, your heart's fast. Those blue eyes are new moss. One deep breath, leap of faith. Dirty hands, will you waste? You're easily undone, but underline truth. You start and you come down, you loosen in the noose. You're easily undone, but underline truth. You start and you come down, you loosen in the noose. Oh, oh, oh. I got this lover letters on my mind. I feel it, living through this daily grind. I need to show me how the stuff does hurt. I'm screaming, begging baby to be burned. And I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 oh. And I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, oh, 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 Thank you. Have a 5-minute break and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Imagination TV. Today is Marketplace, where we get to connect Year 12 students and AIM mentees with some people that are offering some opportunities, whether that be employment, further education and training, traineeships, cadetships, etc., etc. This is the place where we get to hear about it and they get to share their opportunities so that we can connect them with kids. Today we have Narelle from Bond University. No, we don't. Narelle is not on yet. We have Hermione and Deb from UCI. We have Matt from the Australian Defence Force. And we do have Narelle and Paul, who are here from Bond University. How are we going today, guys?
Really great. Awesome.
Excellent.
Great, awesome, and excellent all round. Sweet. Hermione and Deb, I might start with you guys and get you to take yourself off mute and tell us a little bit about UCI and what brought you on Marketplace today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Hermione. I'm one of the owners here, and this is Deb. Hi. Deb practically runs our business. I first got introduced to you guys at Aime through my daughter was doing VCE and this year, and one of her friends was being mentored by one of the Aime guys, and she introduced me to the work that you were doing. And so I got really excited. So we talked about how we could create opportunities for you also. And so here we are today. So UCI is it's a commercial interiors business. It started about 50 years ago when a guy set up a small office selling really seriously boring filing cabinets and a table and a chair to work from. And if we jump 50 years later, office furniture has come a really, really long way. You know, everyone wants something groovy. They want it to be functional and ergonomic, but they want it to be beautiful and groovy. So we've traveled that journey, and from being one office 50 years ago, we're now national. We have about 45 employees. We have some fantastic young people on our leadership team. And we are just constantly looking to evolve. One of our ethoses is that in order to be relevant, we really need to listen to what our clients want. So we don't sell, we just listen. And then we say, oh, maybe we can do something like that for you. So we do electric sit-stand desks, we really do groovy hub places to collaborate and generate great ideas. We fit out some of the large banks, some of the big educational institutions, architect firms. We work with designers, architects, builders, project managers, and we're just looking to go virtual. We want to create a virtual showroom so that you can come in through the screen. And that's where we're at right now. So we're very excited, and culture really matters to us. We want to make sure that we're a fantastic place for people to work. And so we are constantly tapping in year after year and asking our guys, what do you want? What do you like? What's not working? And we continue to build our culture based on what our staff say, what our suppliers say. So that's us. That's UCI in a nutshell.
Okay, so I might give you a brief outline of what the position is that we're looking to fill. So we have two positions, one here in West Melbourne in Victoria and one in Sydney. So basically what we're looking at is I think from my experience personally, when you go out into the workforce, and that was many, many years ago for me, when you go out into the workforce, you're not sure what you want to do, what area you want to go into. So we kind of put our heads together and thought, well, to give someone, a young person, the experience of the whole business, to learn the whole business, the administration, the way it's run. And as Hermione said, we're venturing into e-commerce and marketplaces. So that's a really exciting time for us. So there's no better time than the present to bring someone on board in both Melbourne and Sydney to assist us with that. So the business administration assistant, is basically for someone to come on board, learn about the running of the business, how we do things, to assist in the e-commerce, to assist in the marketplace, and basically give someone the experience of the whole business and how it's run, how we make decisions, how we report on those decisions. And also, you know, UCI from a personal perspective is a great place to work, fantastic team. Our culture and our values is unlike anywhere that I've ever been employed. And I've been here for almost 10 years and I'm not going anywhere soon. So that's a basic rundown. I mean, you know, look, the job will be varied, the position will be varied. I will work through with the successful candidates just to make sure that they're doing okay. I'll be in contact with them every day to touch base. And it will basically be them guiding us to, you know, to say what they're comfortable doing, what they're enjoying doing. But like I said, to give them a brief overview of how we run the business and how we've become so successful.
Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about that. Matt, tell me about the Australian Defence Force and what it takes to be involved.
Hey guys, yeah, so my name's Matt. I've been in the Defence Force for the last 13 years. The last 2 years I've been currently in Defence Force recruiting. I got in contact with Robbie from Aime's last year, I believe it was. I told him to get a haircut and he still hasn't. So yeah, so the Australian Defence Force, we've been around for a long time. We offer jobs, more than about 250 roles, offer them anywhere from the combat space where I work in. Believe it or not, defense is not just about shooting people or getting shot at. There's jobs like infantry. If you're admin, we've got admin assistants, logistical people working in warehouses. If you want to drive big trucks, we don't drive little trucks anymore. And especially, we've got a big introduction of M and trades. Defence Force is looking more to, it's not just a job, there's a big career opportunity. In the trade space, we offer heaps of different kind of trades. We basically pay you double, and we do the trades not in 4 years, we only do it in 2. So you've also got the opportunity to go to uni and get paid to do it. You don't have to pay for university. So sorry, Narelle and Paul, I probably just stole your thunder. But yeah, so imagine going to university for free. All we require in the Australian Defence Force is a year 10 pass in Maths and English for about 90% of the jobs. If you want to be an officer or a leader, you do have to finish year 12 with passes in whatever degree you're thinking of doing. We offer, our degrees are the main, like our degrees in Bachelor of Engineering, Science, Business, Arts, and IT. Our new one is the Business of Communication and Cyber Security and Computing. So if you want to go to university for free, it's a great opportunity to learn your trade while getting paid to do it. Also, what else is there? Especially in the Indigenous space, we like to increase our diversity and the different cultures out there. The better ideas spread around the workspace. So while I was talking about educational requirements for defence being a year 10 pass in Maths and English. One of our biggest downfalls in defence was not giving opportunity to all different kinds of people or walks of life. So in the Indigenous space, we've opened up our Army and Navy Indigenous Development Program, where if you didn't go to school, if you didn't you left at starting year 10, we have the opportunity to pay for you to go to TAFE. We'll pay for your TAFE education, and we'll give you a salary as well to build you up in the year 10 basic Maths and English, all the way up to, if you want to join the RAF as an officer, there's opportunities for us to pay for your year 12 education as well. So basically, I also work in the specialist recruiting team for Indigenous candidates. Basically, if you tell us what you want and we can see if you're suitable for defence, we can see what we can do for you. We had a guy who didn't finish year 12, wanted to become a RAF officer, so we've enlisted him, and we're currently paying for him to go to university for year 12 education to be an officer and stuff like that. So that's ADF in a nutshell. Basically, the biggest takeaway is you don't have to be a shooter. You don't have to be super physically fit to join the Defence Force. Look at me. So yeah, that's what the Defence Force can offer you.
Thank you very much for that, Matt. But I'm sure if I asked you to drop and give us 100, you're more than capable of doing that many push-ups.
I'll meet you halfway at 50.
I think you and Robbie might be able to have a little competition, maybe to round out this 20-minute.
He's got more hair, so I'll probably beat him.
Narelle and Paul, tell us about the opportunities that you guys have at Bond University and how you've come on to Marketplace today.
Hi everyone, so my name's Narelle Carr and I'm a Wiradjuri woman. And my official title is Indigenous Engagement Advisor.
How you going, everybody? My name's Paul Martin. I'm a proud bachelor and Gurung man from people of Queensland. My role here at Bond is Indigenous Outreach and Cultural Support Officer.
Yeah. So we both we're based in the Nyambul Centre, and Nyambul means birds in local language, in the Yugambeh language. And the Nyambul's been operating for probably around 8.5 years. And we currently have 57 students enrolled, and we'll probably have nearly 70 in the new year. And so Bond's a private, not-for-profit university, so we're only small. We have 4 faculties, like 4 schools. So we've got business, law, HSM, so health, and faculty of society and design. We have probably 4,000 students and 1,000 staff. And so our students get looked after very well. It caters well to Indigenous people because we're a community. And over the 8 years, we've had over 150 graduates. Whereas before that, because the university is around 30 years old, before that we'd only had around 5 or 10. So everything's really excelled, and Bond's doing a great job in the Indigenous space. What do you want to say about what you do as well?
Oh, look, I guess for me, look, my role's super new, and I came in just before the COVID, about 2 weeks before COVID lockdown, actually. And so my role is sort of in its creation, I guess, if you can sort of speak like that. It's obviously the outreach side of it is really about building relationships with local community groups, schools. Probably we'll do a lot of stuff with the AIM team moving forward, but also looking at some of the areas within Queensland that we probably aren't making contact with, that have large cohorts of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander kids with students. You know, my role also is my background's in social health, so I do a lot of stuff pastorally and work with supporting some of our current students, which is a good thing. And so, yeah, my role is very in the process of being created. So it hasn't really started to take shape, but I'm thinking by next year we will really know what we're looking to do and what we're looking to achieve.
Mm. And so, and just with Bond, so we have several sort of ways in which you can enter. So we've got preparation, foundation, we have diplomas. So we have Bond College, and then obviously our undergrad, postgrad. And we have scholarships that open from April through to September. So they're 50% for an undergrad and 100% for a diploma. And they've already been taken up for next year. So we're really excited. We're going to be getting 12 new students from right across Australia. So we're excited about that. Bond has accelerated programs. So we have 3 semesters, which I know other universities are starting to pick up now. So essentially you can get your undergrad in 2 years and then go on to work. So we have a 100% success rate in placement, work and postgrad studies. We sit above national average in all our stats. So I don't know, start big noting now. Yeah, so it's an amazing place for our students to come, and we've had students go to Department of Defence and Attorney Generals, Prime Minister and Cabinet, law firms, like local, regional, a lot in state government, foreign affairs, and so yeah. So I don't know what else happens here.
Oh, look, I just think that the Nyambul Centre on its own, like I've worked in many different spaces in my time, and you know, this place is a real home away from home for some of the young people that come in here, whether they're locals or they're coming from remote and rural areas, and you know, and that sort of curbs all those missing home sort of factors, you know, and allows young people to then engage better in their work and study. So, you know, for us, it's really, you know, it's a real relational space. You know, we was very welcoming of everybody. You know, we get a lot of people come past that are non-Indigenous, and we call them in as well. So, but it's just a home away from home, and that's a credit to obviously Narelle and Jason Murray, the manager, of what they've created. And, you know, I've just been lucky to come into a space and somehow add some sort of value to it.
Yeah. And just one other thing too, we also have 2 Indigenous Med Scholarships that are open now. So if anyone's interested in doing medicine, we've got 2 available. And we've just had our first 2 Indigenous doctors graduate yesterday, so Myra and Bryony. and we've currently got one in, but we're excited. Like Optical Superstore have given us some funds for 2 more scholarships in medicine. So if anyone's interested in medicine, yeah, get in contact with us. Is that okay? Is there anything else?
That's perfect, Narelle. I mean, I've been lucky enough to know you for the last 9 years, and I believe we have 2 AIM students rolling into scholarships at Bond University next year. Fantastic. But that's all we have time for. So I just want to thank you, Narelle, Paul, Maddie, and also Hermione and Deb for the opportunities you're offering. For you, Hermione and Deb, with your business admin role. We'll make sure we send this out to kids, particularly in Sydney and Melbourne. And the ADF is probably the #1 recruiter of AIM students, at least where I work. And I've been working with you, Maddie, for a long time. So we'll make sure all these opportunities are put forward to our students. And who knows, Narelle, Paul, maybe we can get an AIM student in there on a med scholarship, and they can be the first AIM student at Bond to get a med scholarship. So there we go. So thank you so much. That's all we have time for. Rhiannon and I are going to take a quick 3-minute break to refresh ourselves with a nice cup of coffee. Thank you so much for jumping on the call. We really appreciate the time you put and the effort you put in to talk to the students. So thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome back to Aime's Marketplace. This next slot, we are joined by both Aime and Raquel from the University of Canberra and the University of Queensland. How are you both feeling today?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, doing fine, thank you.
Lovely to hear. Quick deviation away from opportunities. How's the weather?
It's stinking hot up here, so I don't know what it feels like anywhere else, but it feels like a very hot weighted blanket.
It's a good description.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm just looking out the window here. It seems to be a bit cloudy, but it's like a nice temperature in Canberra.
Well, my favourite memory of Canberra is I was driving in to play a show, and my car said it was -3 degrees and it was raining with little bits of hail, and I'm from Queensland and I've never, ever experienced anything like that before. But anyway, that's a segue. So Aime, Raquel, tell us a little bit about yourselves and what got you to what you're doing now at each respective university.
Raquel, did you want to go first? Or?
Oh, you can go first.
Sure. So my name's Aime. I am working at the University of Canberra as a student transition and retention project officer. That's pretty much just a fancy word for I'm a super support person. I actually grew up in Adelaide until just before I turned 12. And I moved to Canberra in 2008 and did my high schooling here. I'm actually a First Nations person, Narungurrungana. And yeah, I guess at the end of my schooling experience, I did an accredited package, so not a package where you can get into university, and I did a bridging course through the University of Canberra to get into uni, and I've pretty much been at the university ever since. Decided to get into this role because I really love supporting people, and I know exactly what it feels like to kind of start off in a place where you don't know where you're going, and then just making decisions one by one, and I want to be able to support people the same way that I was supported.
My name's Raquel Nutley. I am a Imin and Manjali woman. I was the first in my family to go to university, and so I went to Griffith University. Unfortunately, I didn't get into UQ, but I went to Griffith, and I just had so much support from the Gomari unit. And when I graduated, I just really wanted to be a part of the students' journey and to see them from high school to uni and then the completion of uni, because I just know how important it is and how important those support people are. So I was a student support coordinator here in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Studies unit at UQ, but I'm currently in the outreach and engagement team. So I work closely with the high school students and the prospective students, I guess, coming into UQ.
Thank you. But before we go on, I just want to touch on something you said, Aime, about basically decisions one by one. And that's been such a strong theme today is life is just about like opportunity after opportunity. And it's just up to us to say yes to those opportunities, and it just deviates our lives in different directions. So it's just one of those points for the students that watch this, that it doesn't actually matter what direction you think you want to go into. Opportunities will come your way, and it's up to you to take them with, I guess, both hands and roll with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally agree with that. I think I'm 24 now and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. So I'm just taking it step by step, and that's okay. You know, I used to get really down on myself about not knowing what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do, but I'm really happy in the role that I'm in right now and the studies that I'm doing. And that's the thing that matters the most.
Does. So again, I've done this before, but I want to paint a picture. I am just started year 12. I've just started my journey for the last year of high school. I'm looking at Canberra. I'm looking at UQ as my university options. What is the best process for me to take to make sure that I can walk into your university doors and have a great university academic career? What do I need to do?
Okay, I'll go first this time. I would say, number one, get connected into your Indigenous unit. So for example, for us, it would be getting connected with the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Studies unit, getting connected with the academic coordinators that we have here, the student support coordinators here, and getting connected with the student group. I always say the first semester is sometimes the hardest because you're learning all new skills. You're learning how to manage your own time. You're learning how to be an adult. You're learning how to say yes to classes and no to sleeping in. And so I would say just making sure you have the tools to be successful, particularly that first year. And knowing when you, and those tools will also help you to know when your best time to study is, because not everyone's best time to study is the same as everyone else's. Knowing how to drop a subject because it's not what you thought, and so it's still before census day. I think just making sure you're connected with all of those resources straight up will kind of set the tone for the next 4 years.
I tend to agree with everything that you've just said, Raquel. At UC, we have the Ngunnawal Centre, which is our Indigenous unit. And we actually have currently students who are transitioning into the university doing tours with Lana, who's our one of our student engagement advisors in the Ngunnawal Centre. And she is absolutely passionate about supporting our Indigenous students at UC. Also in my team, we run a program called One Mob Mentors, which is, my apologies. Which is a program where we set up students who are transitioning into the university from year 12 or if you're coming out of the workforce to kind of have a buddy who's an Indigenous student as well and are currently studying in the same course as you or something that's also relevant to the units that you're studying. And they also have similar likes to you. So my team, we specifically match you with personally. We don't go through a computer system or anything like that to a mentor who will help you access all of the support services at the university and help you familiarize yourself with the campus.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly important that those mentoring structures are set up for students coming into the university setting. You know, when I was a year 12 student going into the University of South Australia, it was through the relationship that I'd established with my mentor on campus that I actually got through my first and second years of university, because I would not have been able to do that without, you know, the guide and the support of someone who knew the uni system and exactly what we were meant to be doing. Okay, so my next question to both of you is, why do you think it's important that we have young Indigenous students entering the higher education system?
Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'm happy to. I think it's really important for our cultural diversity at universities and having young Indigenous people come in, share their ideas, share their passion, and also share our culture, you know, whether you know a lot about it or you don't know that much. I know that there's a lot of young Indigenous people who are still trying to find more out about their culture, and we're really lucky at UC that we have units specific to learning about Indigenous culture and history that are taught by Indigenous people. And yeah, we should all be aspiring to do more with our lives, no matter what that looks like. So yeah, it's really important to keep those aspirations going, and higher education is a fantastic pathway to get there.
Yeah, I agree 100% with everything that Amy just said. Have been talking to one of our current students, and he's studying a Bachelor of Engineering, and he graduates next year, and he's from the NT, and he was yarning with me, and he basically said his goal is to put an Indigenous perspective into what he's doing in engineering, and then doing that afterwards as well. So I think, you know, our perspective as First Nations people is important, and we should not just be here at the university, but we have to also be in the workforce once we finish uni. So I think this is just the building block to there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely makes sense. All right, so what's the opportunity that each university has for students coming through the Aime program and graduating? Then yeah, what are the scholarships, what's the pathways, how can they get involved?
Yeah, so at the University of Queensland, a lot of our opportunities are on our website, but we have an admissions pathway that kind of, that's a way in for our students as well. If they identify as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, we automatically get in contact with them, and we talk through the admissions pathway. We have a number of scholarships for our students as well. We have a med pathway. We had a record number of medical students graduating this year. We have a huge number of med students at UQ. So yeah, we have those kind of options. It's every year it's something new. So I think our website always has up-to-date information on anything that's coming up.
So in regards to pathways into UC, you can also always go through UAC. For students who haven't completed a tertiary package, just like me, I actually went through the Indigenous Foundations program here at the University of Canberra College, which is a program that allows you to do communications and study skills in like relevant to the university, and you also get to start a unit or two of your chosen degree. So that pathway kind of flows into your degree. And a part of our student transition and retention within UC Thrive is about helping students who are coming out of high school in transitioning into the university to make sure that we're keeping in contact, and then we will support you throughout the semester up until you graduate. And then we have an alumni program which just helps you flow from the beginning of your educational journey at UC throughout your professional position when you leave the uni.
Amazing. Thank you both very much for sharing those different pathways. Now I'm going to throw to a slightly different and a little bit off topic question, which is I want to know about the most exciting day you've had on the university campus, whether that's as a student, as a staff member, however many years in between. What's been the absolute best day that you've had on campus?
I'll go first. So the most exciting day on campus for me was pretty much when we came back on campus from COVID lockdown, because we had a student come in on campus a few weeks afterwards to do a tour of the university and see what the university had to offer. So I took them through our student services, to the most interesting places on campus, over to the student accommodation. We went down to the Ngunnawal Centre, and I guess the thing that I love about my job is helping students become kind of familiar with the university so that they feel as supported as possible. Yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of exciting days on campus, like when I got into my degree, when I started my job here. But yeah, those are some of the most memorable times on campus.
Yeah, I've got that's a really hard question. I would say UQ, we do a NAIDOC festival. And so last year's, or the year before's NAIDOC festival, we had Baker Boy here, and yeah, that was pretty exciting. It was the first time we did something, and it was just like, yeah, it was so exciting. So I think just the NAIDOC festival, but also I love that we do a sashing ceremony for our graduates. So those students that are graduating, we get to do the sashing, we get to sash them, and their families are there as well. So I think that's a big thing. And this year, this year, which is ours is next week, one of the girls that is getting her sash, I helped her in grade 12. So yeah, that's probably going to be my most exciting day.
Robbie, we've had so many moments, especially you being at AIME for a decade, being able to be there for those year 12 students when they graduate. So I'm sure you can sympathise with how much of a moment that is, being able to witness that. We also had another group that couldn't make it onto Marketplace today, but they've sent through some information for me to share so that students watching this back can have the opportunity, and that's with the Thoughtful Agency. And what they're doing is they're offering a graphic design internship opportunity to those that are currently studying design at university. And what they've said is, while at Thoughtful, the selected individual will work alongside our in-house graphic design team across a community of clients within the national and international fashion and lifestyle sector. And they've said during the Thoughtful internship, no 2 days are the same. Graphic design in our agency is a wide range of mediums, including social media, content creation, digital marketing campaigns, and shadowing the senior design team. The internship would be for a 6-week duration, commencing in January of 2021. How's that all sounding for you, Robbie? Are we ready to wrap up this part of the show?
Yeah, I think so. Just to wrap up to Amy Raquel, I mean, higher education is so important for the mob and the people that we work with. And, you know, universities are a fantastic place. I spent 7 years at university and have been working with universities for the last 10 years. So I'm a little bit biased, but thank you both so much for coming on the show. We have so many bright students coming up that, you know, UC and UQ are definitely going to be destinations for them post-school. So thank you so much for offering your time, offering your guidance, and offering your expertise. It's been greatly appreciated. So thank you so much. Now, Reet, I think we go to a 5, 4, 3-minute break, and we'll see everyone on the other side.
Thanks.
Thanks, bye.
Welcome back to the final slot for Marketplace today. We have some incredible guests to round it out. We've got Will from MJ Bale, Bonnie from the University of Newcastle, and Jamie from Aboriginal Employment Strategy. How are we all feeling today?
Yeah, we're good.
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Good all round. Jamie, how about you kick us off and tell us a little bit about what Aboriginal Employment Strategy is?
Yeah, no worries. So look, I'm a Niambar. A little bit about me really quickly. I'm a Niambar man from Brewarrina, which is about 10 hours northwest of Sydney. But yeah, I'm the relationship manager for the Aboriginal Employment Strategy. I'll say AES, so it makes it nice and short. And so I'm the relationship manager for the AES. I've been, this is sort of my second round with AES, actually. I used to work with AES about 10 years ago, and then I've gone off to head up Telstra's Indigenous Employment Program, and anyway, I've now returned in the relationship manager space. So look, we have we've got 12 sites across the country, so the majority of our sites are all in New South Wales. We have 3 in Sydney, Tamworth, Newcastle, Kempsey, Coffs Harbour, Dubbo, Moree. We've also got 2 up in Queensland, in Brisbane and Ipswich. We're also in Darwin, and we're also just about to open up in Canberra as well. We've got an exciting project in ACT, which we're really, really pumped about. So look, we've got 2 particular arms of our business that I wanted to share with you today. So our first one is our group training organisation. So we are the only Aboriginal group training organisation in the country. So there's two parts of our group, our GTO. The first part is around our school-based traineeship program. So the way that the school-based traineeship program works is that you do your traineeship over years 11 and 12. So you work 1 day a week during the school term. You can also work up to 50% of your school holidays, and you complete a certificate 2 or 3 in whatever qualification it is that you study. So not only do you come out with a HSC, but you also come out with a certificate 2 or 3 qualification in whatever it is that you've studied over that time, and 2 years experience. And that's all paid as well, and 2 years experience working with an organisation. We have various corporates on board. We've just landed 22 school-based traineeships with Westfields. We've got all of our, we've got most of our banks on board as well. We've got family and community services. We've got a whole range of organisations and corporates that's on board with us. So if that tickles your fancy, I understand that there are a few on the call today that are in year 12, but if you are in year 11 or going into year 11, and that program spikes your interest, I will be sharing all these opportunities post the call today, so that we can distribute them out, and you can reach out to your local office and the offices I mentioned a little bit earlier to get that ball rolling. Now, the other part to that, we also have full-time traineeship opportunities as well. So that the easiest way to explain that is once you've, for school leavers. So rather than working 1 day a week, you actually work 5 days full-time for either 12 to up to 12 to 24 months, depending on what qualification that you're doing. And that could be, generally it's around a certificate 3 or a certificate 4 qualification that you would be studying. And again, that's also a year or 2 years experience with whatever organisation that you work with. So really great programs. I'm in Newcastle, actually dialing in from my hotel room at the moment, as we just we just hosted the Newcastle Traineeship graduation today. So generally we usually do one big graduation at the end of the year, but given COVID craze craziness, we've had to do all individual graduations. So, but next year there'll be, you know, once the COVID craziness is done, we'll host a massive big graduation in Sydney, where we celebrate the achievements of all of our trainees, and also all the corporate partners that we have on board. And we're going to combine it with a big Deadly NAIDOC event as well. So 250 to 300 people will be expecting at our next one. So really watch this space if that's something that you're interested in. And finally, the other part of the business that I wanted to sort of yarn with you about today is our recruitment services arm of the business. So that's if you've left school, if school's not for you, or you've finished year 10 or you've finished year 12, whatever the case is, you can come into our into one of our offices. And the way that it's a straightforward process. The way that would work is that you would either call ahead for an appointment or just walk in the door. We will actually, our recruitment officers will sit down with you. We'll nut out a bit of a career plan. You know, what is it that you're wanting to do? We would update your resume or create a resume, regardless of what it is that you know, wherever it is that you're at whatever stage you're at with your resume. We would also do, we talk to you about our current vacancies that we have, because we always have on a daily basis, you know, even though, again, talking about COVID craziness, the amount we've not stopped. The amount of opportunities that's come out of COVID has been like crazy, but good crazy. So we would talk to you about all those opportunities that we have. We would do some interview preparation with you as well. We would send your resume off and reverse market you to employers, even if that's to employers that lodge vacancies through with us already, or employers that we don't have vacancies with. We would actually, you know, we would talk to employers on your behalf as well, in terms of, you know, the reverse marketing piece. Now, it's not only about getting you into employment, it's also about keeping you there and making sure that you're well supported, and you know, and so we've got full-time mentors on board that will be calling you once you commence the employment, make sure things are going okay. We'll also you know, come to the office, or you know, the car yard, or you know, wherever it is that you're working, and we'd sit down with you and your employer to make sure that things are going okay, separately, together, whatever the case is. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure that you feel as supported as possible, and then you're going to go on to bigger and great things. That is what our core that is what our core business is. So you know, and I suppose anything I missed there is we work very closely with all of our job actives as well. So what we do with our job actives is we've got funding there to also help with upskilling as well, for, you know, whatever skills it is that you need upskilling with.
That's amazing. Definitely a lot on offer at AES, Jamie, to say the least, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Will, I'd love to jump to you. Do you want to explain maybe what MJ Bale is and how you've landed here today, and what opportunities you have for people?
Yeah, easy. Hi guys, I'm Will from MJ Bale. We're an Australian menswear brand, one of the largest in the country. We currently have over 50 stores across Australia. We're sort of well known for our tailoring, as well as sort of our broader casual range, which we're expanding. MJ Bale is also very aligned with, I guess, Australian messaging, and it's who we are as a country, and the people in this country from all walks of life. We're the official tailoring partners of the Australian cricket team, the Wallabies, and we've done a lot of collaborations with Aime in the past, including the Suits for Suits campaign, which you may have seen earlier this year, as well as the new Hoodie Jackets campaign, which would have just launched about 2 weeks ago. We were founded in 2015. I actually started as an intern at MJ Bale in 2016. As of today, I'm the PR and brand manager for MJ Bale. So it's been a very interesting process for me. And I guess for us, what's important as a business is being able to create a funnel where we can bring great emerging talent into our business to tell new, exciting brand stories, to celebrate the diversity and integrity of who we are as a business. We're making very big moves in 2020 towards becoming more sustainable. We're looking to be carbon neutral by 2021. We're trialing the world's first carbon neutral wool, and we're looking to replace all our packaging with sustainable recyclable materials. In terms of programs to the business, I came through the marketing stream of the internship program, which typically lasts from 3 to 6 months. We're looking for people from across the entire business in our finance department, which specializes in our accounting and growth, our merchandising business, which focuses on the distribution and planning of the items that we buy, our design team, who are coming up with new and exciting concepts as 2020 and the future evolves, and then on the brand and marketing side, where I'm in, we're focused on creating meaningful stories that celebrate the character of Australian peoples. As far as the programs go, it's a matter of giving everybody a comprehensive view of the business and then focusing on nurturing talent in a way which will allow people to springboard into future opportunities. My own experience with the program has been highly positive. I guess it tells you why I'm still here after 5 years with the guys. But we're looking to sort of drive and nurture talent for first expose people to wider parts of the business, and then training and exploring what the strengths and weaknesses are for each individual and nurturing that so that you can find new ways to work either within the business or move into a space that sort of looks super attractive to you. For us, nurturing talent and creating people of character, it's so strongly with our brand, and it's at the core of everything that we do, from our brand and marketing activities right through to our human resources nurturing programs.
Amazing. I took down so many notes then of the great things you were saying, like creating meaningful stories to celebrate Australians peoples, to, it's about finding and nurturing talent and creating people of character. And yeah, it all just resonates so deeply with what we want to do here at AIM, but also within our partnership. And most importantly, the kind of people that we need the next generation to be able to be leaders and entrepreneurs and to really take, I suppose, the bull by its horns to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
Bonnie, I'd love to jump over to you. Tell us about yourself and the University of Newcastle and how we've landed here today.
Hey guys, so my name's Bonnie Summers. A little bit about me first. I'm a Wiradjuri woman from New South Wales. I spent most of my life in Queensland though, so I just moved back down here to study. So I'm a current student at the University of Newcastle. I've just finished my second year of medicine, so I'll be going into my third year next year, hopefully. And yeah, I guess I would just like to speak about the opportunities that the University of Newcastle has for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. It's an amazing university. I can't speak more highly of it. The amount of support I've received from day one has just been amazing, and more than I could have ever have wanted to get out of a university. So we've got the Wallatuka Institute here, which is the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Institute, and it's a great, big, lovely building that's so welcoming and full of amazing people, and it's a big sense of community down there. I felt welcome since the first day. We do lots of things like there's weekly barbecues, there's like weekly study and yarning sessions, just endless amounts of support. I would like to chat about, I guess, the pathways that you can take to get into the University of Newcastle. So we have a few. There's Open Foundations, New Step, and your PUG. Your PUG is the one that's specifically for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. It's an amazing program. I didn't go through it myself, but I know a lot of people that have been through it. It's just great. It's a 1-year program full time, or you can take it 2 years part time if you'd like to. There's no cost for the program, and it's just an amazing stepping stone, I guess, between high school and university. If you don't know what you want to study yet, if you just want to, I guess, gain experience in like a university environment and have a go there, then it's just an amazing thing to do. I went through the pre-medicine program, which is called Mirama Bunbilla. So that's sort of like another pathway for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. It's a pre-med program that you attend for 1 week, and it happens the year prior to starting your degree. So we go through a series of testing. You're there with other students. You get to know everyone at Wallatuka, and then you go from there. So a lot of students that I was with in that pre-med program had come through the PUG program, the 1-year pathway program, and they were just so prepared for everything there. The program sets people up really well. So I definitely recommend that one. You just have to be over 18 years old to apply for that. You don't have to go straight after high school. You can come in at any age. So yeah, amazing opportunity there. I'll also just quickly speak about the adjustment points that if we've got year 11s and 12s in here, this will probably be more directed to the year 11s coming through to year 12 next year. So you can have a maximum of 12 adjustment points for your ATAR score at the end. And 5 of those come from automatically if you live in a regional or remote area. And you can also get a number of adjustment points for being Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander. And the way to do that is really simple. On your UAC application, if you're applying for a degree at the university, you just indicate if you're Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander or both. And they fully work it out for you. So it's very easy to do. And the regional and remote adjustment points are based on your postcode. And so Wallatuka will actually contact you and organise an interview, and that's sort of another entry pathway into uni. So that's good to know for that as well. And I just wanted to mention scholarship supports as well. There's a very, very, very large number of a scholarship support. I myself was a little bit worried about, the finances, I guess, if I moved from Queensland down to New South Wales. I didn't know anyone down here. I moved down by myself out of home and onto live at the campus on the University of Newcastle. And there's just an amazing number of scholarships to apply for. I felt really supported with Centrelink as well. So yeah, definitely apply for those. If you do want to, it's a very easy process. If you go onto the University of Newcastle website, there's a scholarship portal. It's very easy to make an account through that, and it's easy to just click and apply for all the scholarships that you're eligible for. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie. That was an incredible amount of information, and the University of Newcastle is doing some incredible things for the community. So thank you for sharing. I just want to finish off with one question to each of you. It's a little bit of a sideways question, but I want to know for each of you, what makes you happy? What's that one thing in your life that makes you get up in the day and just put a smile on your face? What is it? What makes you happy? We'll start with Jamie.
What makes me happy? Look, I'm absolutely passionate about my mob and my community, and and creating change for our people. And honestly, like, that's the one thing. If it's any advice that I can give, it's about you're at work more than you're anywhere else, right? So it's important that you enjoy and love what you do. Otherwise, you're just not going to give it your absolute all. And so I get out of work, and whilst it might sound a bit wanky, I tell you now, I love getting to work and doing what I do. And as I said, I emceed the trainee graduation here in Newcastle today, and to see our young mob up on that stage, receiving their awards, and their employers that's standing right next to them, and they're using words like leaders, powerful. You just, like, it hits you in the heart, and that's when you know that you are in the right spot.
Perfect. Will, what makes you happy?
I guess what makes me happy at MJ is just the capacity to do really cool things. We're quite entrepreneurial here, and there's really no such thing as a bad idea in this business. We're always looking for new ways and always pushing the bounds of what we've done in the past, and being encouraged and supported to do those things as a business is just such a positive experience. We're always experimenting with, the sort of content that we produce, the sort of clothes that we make. And this can come from any side of the business. And to know that we're all on this journey together to try new things to build a better tomorrow is really just, it's such a heartwarming thing to know that you're surrounded by a community who really want to make the world a better place, whether that's through an open environment, through telling more culturally diverse stories, or just by doing good things for customers and the society in general. I really can't stress that enough, that capacity to really explore things without feeling like you're constrained by any resources.
Thanks, Will. And Bonnie, what's that one thing? It doesn't have to be university. What's that one thing in your life that makes you happy?
It does kind of relate to university. I think it's, I finally feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. It's taken me, I guess, quite a long time to sort of find my feet and find what I want to do in life, which is medicine. So yeah, just waking up and knowing that I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing and what I feel like I'm meant to be doing definitely makes me happy. So yeah.
Thank you all three for sharing. Over to you, Ree. What do you reckon? What makes you happy?
Oh, I think the beach makes me happy, actually. There's no thinking about it. Like knowing that like you can swim whenever you want, and it's just, yeah, I think the beach is kind of like my place of feeling free, and that's why it makes me happy. How about you, Robbie?
Well, I'll have to say my wife and 9-month-old daughter, just in case they watch this stream back. That's what makes me happy.
What a wonderful way to wrap us up for the day. Thank you so much to you all for joining us today, to Jamie, to Bonnie, and to Will for taking the time to share some opportunities with the kids that not only we work with, but kids that are going to be the upcoming leaders of the future. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, what I'm going to do now is try to very quickly recap all of the different opportunities that we have had on the show for the last 3 hours. So we started off with Bruce from UNE, who said, if you've got the dream, we can help you get there. And UNE had to offer university entry pathways and scholarships. The EM Institute had scholarships up for grabs in event management. Industrial Light and Magic had production assistant roles, facilitator coordinator roles, and some spaces in the Jedi Academy. And they said that we all play a part in creating and sharing stories. And my favorite thing to come out of that was that we shouldn't ever assume that there aren't opportunities for us out there. Then Southern Cross University jumped on, and they had to share some scholarships, university entry programs. And the main thing that came from that is that your high school can actually make a recommendation for you to go to that university, and that was a way of entry that they were allowing in. We then had the crew from Crown jump on, and some of the takeaways from that was that it's important to have high expectations not only of ourselves but of our mob, which is why we have this show on today. And they highlighted that they had many roles available across all fields, and that they would be happy to meet with any of the Year 12 students or any of the graduates so that they could find a role in their industry for you. Federation Uni jumped on and highlighted the importance of growth within ourselves, and up for grabs they had an entry program, scholarships, courses, and traineeships, paid traineeships for Indigenous students. Narelle and Paul jumped on from Bond University and spoke to the entry programs, and particularly highlighted the scholarships that they have in the medical field. Then we had the Defence Force, who highlighted that it's not just about guns or anything like that. It's not about driving the big trucks, because they no longer have little trucks, but they highlighted that they had Army and Navy Indigenous program entries, that they were paying students to go through education to build up basic maths and English. They had trades option. They also had the option to go to university. And what Matt really highlighted was that the Defence Force isn't just, I suppose, the physical push-ups, saving the world kind of stuff. It's about, they have roles in, admin, support services, in information media, telecommunications, retail, trade, technical support. So there was a very wide array of roles available there. ICU had business admin assistant roles up for grabs in West Melbourne and Sydney. The University of Queensland had admin pathways, scholarships and med pathways. University of Canberra have Indigenous Foundation programs up for grabs and scholarships. And Aime is the support worker there who really highlighted the importance of making decisions one by one. The thoughtful agencies, which is what I spoke to, have a graphic design internship up for grabs. AES have school-based traineeships for year 11 and 12 students, full-time traineeship opportunities for school leavers, and recruitment officers that will work with you guys through career plans individually if you would like to be involved. University of Newcastle have an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Institute, and the UPUG program particularly is for Indigenous students to gain confidence and experience in their university environment. So it prepares you to go to university. And MJ Bale create a funnel to bring creative talent into business. And what they have up for grabs is internships across every field within the organisation, from finance, from merchandising to designing to brand, and of course marketing. How's that all sound, Robbie?
It sounds like you need to take a breath, because that is a lot of opportunities, and it has been incredible to see what's on offer for the young Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students that we work with, and the opportunities are out there. And one thing that I've really taken out today, which was, I guess, an underlying theme with some of our guests, is just how life truly is a journey, and that along the way you're going to get different doors and different opportunities, and it's up to you as an individual to, I guess, decide which opportunity to say yes to and what opportunity to say no to. And the one thing at the end of all this that has made me feel really good is how many people have come with opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. It's just the amount of opportunities out there is I'm lost for words. It's just so many, and it just makes me feel good that Australia as a country and the organisations we work with and the people in this core were coming together to just create a future that I guess we all want to live in. So that's the one thing that's really, really struck me about today. But it's been an absolute pleasure co-hosting with you. We may have similar names, but we're not related. And it's been fantastic, Reece. So thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone that's taken place in Marketplace. And that's a wrap.